Okay, so guys, welcome to week 4 of Pacesetters. And I really just want to say a high five to everybody for we're halfway through Pacesetters, if you can believe it. This is week 4, and we'll go through the end of June. We've got 4 more weeks with June. So, want to just do a little great recognition. We want to just say, way to go, those that are really working. Are you seeing that probably the 2 consistent tools are your 6 most important things list? Hopefully you're getting in the habit of doing that every day. That's always on the top of your lesson is your 6 most important things list. And then your weekly plan sheet. If you're doing those, they're showing up on our In Touch sites. If you're not, I want to really encourage you to get your weekly accomplishment sheets done. It's really about being intentional. You've probably figured that out. Nothing happens unless you're really intentional about it. So being intentional, and hopefully, can you tell the difference? If you are really consistent with that 6 most important things list, especially, you should by now be some traction and start noticing some difference with that. So, I would like to ask, is there anything that you perhaps, as a result of doing Pacesetters, that you are now saying no to because it doesn't line up with your God goals, your family goals, or even your Mary Kay career goals? So I'd love if you guys want to give me any feedback. Is there anything that, because you're being more intentional and you're really working your Pacesetters, that you would say, you know what? It's helped me to say no to some things to allow more time, perhaps, for my Mary Kay. Would anybody have something they would want to share that'd be a good example of where maybe you're getting a little bit more diligent with your time? Maybe I like to call it your boundaries, because as we know, there's a lot of really good things we can say yes to. But we can't do everything. And so you have to say no to some really good things to make room to build and grow your business. So I'd love to hear if any of you guys have an example of where you feel like you've really perhaps said no to some things, so to really keep protecting your time to focus on your business and build your business. Would anybody have an example they would want to share? Do you feel that the 6 most important things list has helped? Has that one tool that perhaps is becoming more and more of a habit, do you feel like that has helped? Okay, well, one encourage, if you're not doing it on a consistent basis, you definitely want to start with that, because really discipline, your why has to be bigger than yourself. You'll hear a lot about what is your why, and I love, in the way of sports, if there's the playoffs, I love to watch playoffs. Super Bowl right now is the NBA basketball playoffs, and anytime it's a football team, basketball team, they take a halftime. And halftime is their time to gather in the locker room, right? And talk about what we're doing well, talk about what do we need to shift, what do we need to do better. And I feel like this is halftime right now in your Pacesetters. So this is a great week to evaluate. And also, don't beat up on yourself. If you've not gotten every lesson done, it's okay. I would say today, recommit and make it a new start, a clean slate. I was talking with one of our consultants who's in Pacesetters, and she has had some really lot of life happen where she's having to care for mother who got ill, mother-in-law who got ill, her husband who 2 teeth extractions and he's not recovering well. I mean, it's just, unusual circumstances this week that have thrown her off course. But we talked about that will happen. And it's okay, but quickly get back on your game. And that's where that 6 most important things list will help you, for example. So it's halftime. It's time to reevaluate. So I have a video I'm going to show in just a minute. I'm going to put it up on the screen that I want us to watch. But it goes right in line with our lessons this week coming up. And I just want to read to you the titles of your lessons this week coming up, because these are exactly the topics that you're going to see on this video. So we have lesson 16 is going to be the best thing to do when you get knocked down is to get back up. That's the title of that lesson. Lesson 17 coming up this week is those who don't take chances don't make advances. Those who don't take chances don't make advances. All right, and you're going to hear about that on this video, I feel like. Then number 18, lesson 18 is be willing to listen and ask questions. Be willing to listen and ask questions. Lesson 19, we need to stand out, not blend in. We need to stand out and not blend in. And lesson 20 is titled, Never Give Up on Your Goal. So your directors, we have a video. Some of you may have had it in your Voxer group posted today. And if you've watched it, it's worth watching again. If you've never watched it yet, you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to do a little screen share. You've got to listen really good because this guy talks fast. And it's one of those talks where every sentence is a nugget of truth. So let me pull this up.
Mr. Inky Johnson. Put your hands together, guys. Every day I'm chasing something different. Every day the way I operate is totally different. And it's not about the product for me as much as it is about the process. And what I mean about the process saved my life. You see, my mother had me when she was 15 years old, right? Over on the east side of Atlanta, we came up in this neighborhood by the name of Kirkwood, drug dealer on every corner, gang members in the neighborhood, 2-bedroom home, 14 people. Used to sleep on the floor. Got the opportunity to sleep in the bed one time out of the week. There was 6 of us in the bed, 3 at the foot, 3 at the head. And I came up with this dream pretty quick. I said, man, I want to go to the NFL because I had 8 uncles in that house, all 8 of which are still going in and out of prison. And so pretty quick, I said, man, I want to go to the NFL. So I went to my big cousin Kamar one night. I said, man, listen, I want to go to the NFL. So we got to work for this thing. So the thing we're going to do every night, we're going to be patient, we're going to engage in consistent action. Every night, we're going to race light pole to light pole, no shoes. So every night, we would get out on the street, race light pole to light pole. One night, a coach came down the street, signed me and my cousins up for organized sports, right? First time being in organized sports. We get in organized sports. The thing was, after practice, everybody would leave to go home. And I always had to sit on the bench and wait on my mother because she worked that way. And so when my mother would show up in the park, it would be about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. So I'm sitting there, and when my mother would pull up, she drove an old Beard Regal, hubcaps off the car seats, torn up, the car was all beat up. And she would pull up in the park 10:30 at night. I would jump off the bench. I would sprint over to my mother. I would say, Mom, if you don't mind, can you please sit back in your car and turn on your car lights? I have to do some extra drills. I have to go to the NFL. So you never have to go to another day in your life. And I knew my mother was tired. And every night, my mother would sit back in that car, and those car lights would hit that field. And he had a 7-year-old kid doing backpedaling drills, running sprints, running laps, chasing his dream to go to the NFL. But just beyond those car lights, I could always connect with my mother's eyes. So it made me dig a little bit deeper. It made me push myself a little bit further. It made me push a little bit harder. It created a certain level of sweat equity in what I was doing. It created a certain level of pride in what I was doing. You know why people quit? People don't have pride in what they do. You know why people stop? They're selfish, and it's just about them. When you have a bigger purpose to why you're doing what you're doing, and you want to honor the sacrifices that others have made for you, it's nothing for you to keep going when you hear adversity. If every decision and choice you make is just about you, at a certain point you're going to hit something that's a lot tougher than you, it's going to make you quit because you don't have a driving force for why you do what you do. But when I got up to the University of Tennessee, it was simple. It was simple for me to give everything I had. My freshman year, I played special teams. My sophomore season, I broke the starting lineup, had a really strong sophomore season. The summer heading into my junior year, I still remember the day where I was sitting in our film room. I was watching film on the California Bears. My defensive backs coach, Larry Slade, came in the room. He said, Inky, I got some good news for you. I dropped the click. I said, what is it? He said, man, you're projected top 30 draft pick, son. He said, all you have to do is play the next 10 football games. You're an automatic multi-millionaire. I went out of the room. I called my mother and my grandmother on the three-way. I said, after this season, there will be no more struggle. I said, we would never miss another meal. I said, we would never experience another Christmas when we have to stand on the side of the curb and just be grateful. I hung it up. First football game, I went out and played great, got an interception, shut Cal down. Second game, we played against Air Force, got late in the game, fourth quarter, guy dropped back, he threw the ball to a receiver coming out my sideline. Me and the guy, we went head on. As soon as I hit the guy, I felt as if every breath in my body left. Body went completely limp, fell to the ground, I blacked out. Never happened to me. My eyes open, I'll never forget, my teammates ran over, they said, hey, get up, let's go. I said, I can't. I can't move. He said, what do you mean you can't move? Y'all locked down corner, man. We need you. Let's go. I said, I know, man, but this time I can't move. I flipped my head up to the sky and said, God. I said, surely nothing is happening in this moment that can alter my life. They got me over to the hospital. They took me back. They ran CAT scans. They brought me back into my room. And all in a 15-second time frame, the doctor came running in from the opposite side. He said, hey, get in there. We got to rush this guy back to emergency surgery. He's about to die. I said, what? He said, son, you have busted up subclavian artery in your chest. You're bleeding internally. We have to rush you back, take the main vein out of your left leg, plug it into your chest in order to save your life. When I opened my eyes from recovery, the same doctor was over me. He said, son, has some good news and some bad news for you. I said, you got some bad news for me? I have to tell him I was about to die. I'm still alive. How bad can it get? I'm still here. He said, the good news is we saved your life. I said, thank you, sir. He said, the bad news is, ain't you have nerve damage in your right shoulder. I said, okay, cool. He said, but son, it's a strong possibility that you probably can never play the game of football again in your life. I said, no way. I said, no disrespect to you, doc, but I've been working for this ever since I was 7 years old. I said, no disrespect to you, doc, but you wasn't in the park with me and my mother. I was 7 years old and she was sitting in that beer. She got done working at Wendy's. No disrespect to you, doc, but you didn't come up in that two-bedroom home, 14 people sleeping on the floor. No disrespect to you, doc, but you didn't miss those meals and stay focused and never made an excuse. I never cheated. I never cheated. Like my conscience still until this day won't let me, like I can't cheat. I can't look myself in the mirror and say, Ike, you did a good job knowing that I cheat. I can't cheat. One of the greatest pieces of advice that my mother gave me was this: son, whenever you start, you make sure you finish. And the problem with the world today, people get involved with things, and if they don't like a certain person, if they don't like the process, if it's not what they thought it was, they quit. And what they don't understand about quitting becomes a habit that doesn't just affect you. Later on in life, when you get a wife, and you get some kids, or you get a family, it's going to come back to hunt you, and it will one day affect them. That is why I tell you the process is more important than the product. It's not even about the outcome for me. It's about, can you take pride in what you do as an individual, and every night when you look in the mirror, knowing that you gave everything you had to. And we have to get to the point where we're willing to impose our will on certain things. Impose your will on it. My life totally changed. And they gave me an opportunity to stop. And most people, when you give them an opportunity to stop while they're chasing something, they take advantage of it because they feel as if, man, why did this have to happen to me? I felt as if, why not me? This is the perfect opportunity to use this to be a blessing to somebody else. And you know what? It's not even about me, to be truthful. It's not even about me. Now it's about repaying the people that invested in me and saw something in me when I couldn't see it in myself. At a certain point in life, it can't just be about you. In the moment that we understand that, and every day we wake up, we understand that life is a blessing and life is a gift. And if you were to check out today, how would you want to be remembered? It's bigger than you.
Okay. Not sure how to get back to the big screen. Can you guys see me? There you go. Okay, there. I think I got it better. Okay. Okay. Wow, isn't that inspiring? I love that. I love.
Yes.
The title of it is Impose Your Will. And I loved he made the statement, the process is more important than the product. And that's what kind of Pacesetters is about. It's the process that you're putting yourself through and who you're becoming and creating, I hope, new habits, new sustainable changes that are going to become integral to your Mary Kay life. So the process is more important than the product. Impose your will. So I want to have some sharing time because, again, we're halfway through. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you feel you perhaps have enjoyed the most from the process so far of Pacesetters? How has it benefited you? How has it helped you? What is it you've enjoyed about it? So I would love to hear from everybody or anyone who wants to share what you've enjoyed most so far. What's been good about it for you?
I'm going to go until she starts squawking again. I got started off on the bad foot from the get-go. I had the pushbacks happening, and so to this point, I have not participated like I had hoped I would. I can see the benefit of the 6 most important things list. I'm not a big list maker.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes back to my mom because she was a list maker, and just we had to add it just so we could mark it off. And I've always been a fly by the seat of my pants chick, which I know is not going to work out, and I have to make some changes, and I'm in the middle of trying to do that. So that's probably been the thing that's going to be the most beneficial, at least to this point, for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Thank you, Lenise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jennifer, it has helped me stay more organized and get out of my comfort zone. Great. Thank you for that, Jennifer. Okay, I'm going to move to another question. What has helped you? How has it benefited you so far by participating in your Pacesetters and by working your lessons, whether you've been able to do every single lesson every day or whatever it is you have been able to get done already halfway in? How has it helped you? Would anybody want to share that? We'd love to get your feedback. And it can be a small thing, it might be a larger thing. It doesn't matter. It's just your experience.
This is Becky. The working through the Pacesetters lessons and knowing that there's some accountability has just forced me to stay more focused on daily activity. Even weeks like this one that have been a little hectic, I make a point to at least have gotten something more than just my 6 most important things list done, but to like make one for sure IPA type activity that I probably would not have done if I weren't working through the Pacesetters.
Yeah. Yeah. Accountability, I think that's a key thing you said. I think sometimes we don't embrace accountability because it is what it is. You're like, okay, if I participate, there's an expectation, or, when we express our goals, maybe at your weekly Mary Kay meeting, then, everybody knows your goal, and it forces you to, the good is it forces you to do the work, I think, sometimes in the days that you wouldn't do it because you do not feel like it. It forces you and it helps you to still be intentional every day. The lesson 16, that's the first lesson for your week, just one little paragraph in that, it says everyone gets knocked down. It's how fast you get back up that counts. Learn the lesson and forget the details. Gain from the experience, but do not roll over and over in your mind the minute details of it. Boy, do we not do that? Do we not roll over and over in our mind? when we get knocked down, we are so quick to know all the things we did wrong or should have done, could have done, would have done. You can't do that. You've got to just move on, build from the experience, and get on with your life. Anyone who is achieving anything in life is simultaneously risking failure. It's a great sentence. It is always better to fail in doing something than to excel in doing nothing. Failure is part of it. But Mary Kay said we fail forward. She always said she had the bloodiest knees of us all. So you get back up. You get back up and you keep going. So how has being in Pacesetters helped you? Is the Voxer group helping? I love it when I do see you guys starting to put some things on there and cheering one another on. Are you enjoying the Pacesetter Voxer group? Is that helpful? Just to at least have that? Yeah, I see Lenice nodding her head. Yeah. I think it helps you know I'm not the only one every day out there trying to move the ball forward and make something happen. Because the pushbacks are real. Pushbacks are there. But then when you push through and you get that victory on the other side, oh, is that not a great feeling too? And I hope you're not comparing yourself to others. Please don't compare yourself. You need to determine what's success for you and celebrate every little victory along the way. I think we don't celebrate even the small victories. And I think it's Pam Shaw that said, it's the private victories that lead to public victories. It's you doing the 6 most important things list. It's you, when this says, it gives, every day there's a little bit of assignment that might be out of your comfort zone, whether it's telling you to call a certain number of customers, approach this particular one is find 5 sharp women today, and it gives you the script. But you know what? If you don't typically get out of your house tomorrow, you need to get out of your house tomorrow and go find 5 sharp women and say this dialogue that's here on lesson 16, for example. But that's a small thing, but yet it's a really big thing to get out. That's work. Hopefully it's just because you're out doing things you're doing anyway and you just make that a part of your life. But private victories will lead to public victories. And I think that's what Pacesetters is doing. It's helping you instill daily private victories that what we know by June 31st, we want to see you have a great public victory at seminar, whether it's your unit awards night, for us, the Go Give Awards night, or the national courts, with Mary Kay. Find a place to win. Find a place by the end of June where you could say, I pushed the last 5 weeks of the seminar year. I pushed through, and I had this victory for myself. I want you guys to have a really great win for you. We are not doing Pacesetters just to take up your time. It's because we wanted to provide something as your directors that would push you and help keep developing you in your skills and in your habits. So much of this is some habits that want to become. These are things we want you to still do after Pacesetters. I hope you do that 6 most important things list, even when you don't like it, Lenice, but when you start seeing traction from it, right, and you start seeing results from it, you learn to embrace it and say, I love this. And it really is not that time consuming when you're just making it a habit. But you got to say no to some things sometimes to say yes. And really, my husband, Nathan, he turns that around. He said, you first need to figure out what your yeses are, and then it's real easy to say no to all the other things that come up. So once you commit to what you're going to say yes to, when other people ask you to volunteer, help out, whatever it is, you can graciously say no because you've already got these other commitments. So I hope you're benefiting. I want you to reset the button if you need to. It's a clean slate. We're going to finish strong these next few weeks. Your lessons will be either emailed to you. I know Shelly and I are posting them on our unit apps. So they'll get posted tomorrow, I know, on my unit app, and I'll also email them to my gals. Is there any last comments that anybody wants to make? Anything in general that you love or appreciate or you've learned? Is there anything you'd want to share with the group before we close down our time together tonight? Okay. Well, on behalf of Linda, Shelley, and myself, again, great job. Keep working. Hey, remember to be doing your Pacesetters tracking, your little assignment tracking, and track that you're doing your weekly lessons. Get those weekly accomplishment sheets done at the end of each week and get them to your director. And we'll be excited next week. Let's keep posting on our Pacesetters Voxer group. Please share, keep sharing things you're doing, things you're learning. We all learn and benefit from that. So you guys encourage me as well. It's an encouragement to me what you're doing. And I just give you a high five and way to go. Keep going. And thank you for your time tonight. I know you could have spent this 30 minutes any other time. So thank you for your time tonight. And have a great evening. Thank you so much, guys. Good night.